Hey guys, it's Josh again. Sorry I haven't posted any videos in the last couple of months, but I kind of got a little under the weather and I just got fit to feeling better about 2 weeks ago. And in the last 2 weeks, this is what I've been working on. We're starting to create a little farm here on our homestead. Some of you know, but I own a boarding and grooming studio for dogs and cats in western North Carolina. Well, I do have a fond love of animals, and my whole family does. And I think what better time than now to start getting into a little bit of farming. The first things we want to try and do is raise our own chickens. We want to raise chickens for eggs. We want to raise chickens for meat. And so we spent a lot of time and effort getting things together, which you can see I've got some live chickies, and I'll show you what those are in just a second. We've got three high dollar incubators. All of them are full of eggs and they're running. Well, they're not full. In this incubator, there's 8 Rhode Island Reds that's going to hatch in about 15 days. No, I'm sorry. They're going to hatch in, it looks like 11 days. I'm sorry, 11 days for that. Those are some mixed chickens that we ended up getting from a local farm in Gaffney, South Carolina. The family was really awesome. They sold us 48 hatching eggs. I believe it was 55 cents a piece. So it was a really good deal. The father's going to be Rhode Island Red, and the mamas, there's about 5 different types of mama chickens. In that last incubator down there, it's about a dozen white leghorn laying chickens. We have about a dozen large Jersey giant black chickens. And we also have blue leghorn chickens, which from my understanding can be extremely rare for the blue color. But we've also got these. These are going to be our first babies that's going in our chicken coop. I'll make a video later of a chicken coop, which I think is the best value for the money and what I've done to it. In this box, we have what's called Rude Ranger. These are a really good meat choice if you're wanting to breed your own meat chickens. Meat chickens, kind of a long story about that, but the best meat chickens you actually cannot breed at home and have to buy from hatcheries. If you're wanting to have a homestead and be fully self-sustainable, those meat chickens don't actually benefit you. Yes, they do have good meat, but like those are called Cornish crosses. Those have to be bought from the hatchery. It's just the way that they're bred. You cannot do them at home. They don't live long enough. But these Rude Rangers right here in this box, which right now they're all solid blonde. I just got these today, so there should be about 3 days old probably. We've got them on a 22% meat chicken diet. I'm gonna try my best to breed those and become self-sustainable. They take, I think it's 11 to 13 weeks to be ready for meat, where the Cornish crosses take about 8 weeks. But either way, 11 to 13 weeks is pretty good when the grocery store shelves are empty. All right, over here, there's a few different kinds in here. We have 5 other meat chickens called dark Cornish. Those will grow in about the same 9 to 11 weeks, 11 to 13 weeks, give or take, depending on how big you want them to be. There's also 3 white leghorn pullets in there, which means females. And there's also 3 silky bantams. So that's why you can see the different coloring. The 3 black chickens that's in there are the dark Cornish, and the 2 red ones are dark Cornish, and the 3 solid blonde are the white leghorns, and then the other 3 are the gray silkies. Right back here, which we're using 2 heat lamps. One heat lamp's 125 watts, the other's a 250 watt, and to be honest, the 125 puts out more heat than the 250. The 125 was bought at Royal King, and it puts the temp out in the power. The 250 was actually bought at a local farm and garden center for a little bit cheaper, but like I said, I don't think the description on the box is quite accurate. I'll show you, because I mean, first-hand testing, this is it. That's what I paid, $8.79 for that 250 watt lamp. I think I paid $6. Well, that's the 250 water. Yeah, it's not as good as the one I bought from Royal King. This come from a local farm and garden center. The 150 I got at Royal King, I think, was like $6, or the 125, and it works. It puts off more heat. So I'm not exactly sure how that wattage is working, but that's my experience. Okay. These in here are Rhode Island Reds. They're on an 18% medicated chick starter. That's what they're eating, and they've gotten pretty big. They're about a week old now. You can see my little thermometer in there. I got it at 93. I've been trying to keep it between 90 and 95. It's about time to drop their temp down. These over here are the bread and butter, so to say, so far. These are red Cornish. These are meat chickens. They are very plump. They're about a week old. They're actually born on the same day as these chickens, and you can see the size difference. These are laying hens, and there's one rooster mixed into the bunch. Did get a rooster so I can reproduce these and have my own brown egg layers. I have the white leghorns for white eggs, but these are going to be my brown eggs. These over here are straight meat chickens. I believe there's 10 of them in there, and you can see how plump they are. Them to them. Huge, even though they were born on the same day. They're eating. They're on a 22% start to finish meat food, and they are growing. All right, so we do plan on raising our own. We plan on selling some of our eggs at the local farm and garden centers, at the local farmers markets. We do plan on harvesting our own meat. We're in the process of trying to get a chicken plucker now. That's what we're really wanting, but some of this equipment has been very expensive, and I've kind of maxed out our budget for now. I built this tube to put this on, and I know it's just a little cheap PVC pipe, but shoot, that almost $40 for all the tees and the pipe and all that itself, and then the chain. That chain was like $1 a foot. I ended up getting a little bit longer. I got 5 foot. And then I had to buy the little clips. Little clips themselves cost more than the chain did. And then this one I just got tied up. So you can see this was my first lamp. This was the second, and you can see it wasn't worth the investment. But all this, you can see my boxes to my incubators are sitting around, all my extra equipment. I overlook the sawdust or the pine shavings in the floor. It happens when you got this many chickies. I will be taking a video of our chicken coop. I have already built it. I've built the backside on it. I've got the roof on it. It looks really, really good for what the amount of money that's invested in it. I'll show you guys what I did with that. If you got any questions or anything, write it in the comments. My incubators are the Farm Innovator 4250 with automatic turners. So they're not the cheapest, but they're a good, decent name brand incubator. They're not some off-name brand Chinese something that's on Amazon. I know Amazon and eBay have a ton of incubators, but is it really worth it? Some of these eggs I purchased, hatching eggs, were way more expensive than just buying the live chicks. And the reason I did do that, like these 6 Rhode Island Reds are actually from a show line. They're a very high quality set of Rhode Island Reds. I'm praying that all 8 hatch of the Rhode Island Reds, but who knows? I mean, that's one of them things you just don't know. When they're shipped to you, your hatch rate lowers dramatically because they're shook up in shipping, and sometimes you can set them up for up to 24 hours, get your air bubbles to kind of connect back together and form back at the top, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and it is what it is. I think for those 8 hatching eggs, I may have paid $48 for those, so they were pretty expensive. Then the barnyard chicks, the ones in the middle, the whole thing's full. It's 41 eggs, 55 cents a piece for those. We're going to take those to the farmers. We'll maybe pick out a couple of the prettiest and the best acting, because we do want some pets mixed in. We do want some loving birds. The rest of them we'll probably take to a local flea market or farm center and try to rehome and sell. And I know they're leg layers because their mamas laid the eggs that they laid that we're using to hatch. Those down there on the end, the black Jersey Giants, I ordered 12 eggs. They sent 14. They were pretty expensive. I think I paid $60 or $70 something for those 12 eggs. But once again, they were show line eggs. They're not just run-of-the-mill basic hatchery eggs. I mean, they were tried and true show birds. So they should have very beautiful coloring. The white leghorns was very special. We got them from, it was a particular farm, and their eggs happened to do a lot better. I did order them online. I forget what I paid for them, but it might have been $45 for 12 eggs, and they sent 2 extra. And then I paid, I believe it was $38 for 6 hatching eggs of the blue leghorns. Blue leghorns lay white eggs. They're basically the same thing as a white leghorn in a different color variation. So they'll probably be mixed together. That's probably how I'm going to do those. But hopefully, and I got hand sanitizer. Before you touch a chick, after you touch the chicks, you always want to make sure you clean your hands. Definitely when you're dealing with the eggs, because bacteria can enter a egg. That shell is porous. And if you got bacteria, if I've been touching these and then I go straight to touching eggs, well, I've just took their bacteria and introduced it inside of the egg, in the eggs in the incubator. I may try and do another video here in just a little while of us candling eggs to see if I can get a good video of what a live baby chick inside the egg looks like. But that's it, guys. I got plenty of extra stuff. I got egg trays. I got a little roosting thing for the Rhode Island Reds. You just set that down in there, but the Rhode Island Reds won't roost on it. And the meat chickens are so fat, they just fall off of it. They do try to roost on it, but they fall. They just fall over. And they're so heavy, you can actually, their legs can actually get hurt if they fall. So you want to be careful with them because their bodies are just gigantic. I mean, it may be hard for you guys to tell, but them are huge birds to be a week old. And these the same age and just little bitty frail babies. All right. So that's about it. Oh, and I did get a beginner poultry kit from Royal King. It came with a little waterer, which ended up being too small. It works. It does work, which is that one right there. But you can see how the drinking reservoir is real thin. If they get pine shavings in there, well, it's completely blocked off. But they do that for a reason so the chicks don't drown, but they also can't drink. And then it came with this little food thing right here. It come with one of those lights, like the light housing. But that's about it. If you got any questions, write them down below and stay up with us because I will be posting more videos of these babies as they grow. Thank you guys, and you have a good night.